Hey, friends and family, how y'all doing? This is Markland Sigler here with another edition of Markland's movie TV. What's this TV review? Animated series review. It's not anime, but it's animated series TV review. And so we're here to talk about Invincible Season 4, Episode 7. Y'all know I normally don't do reviews episode by episode because it's really just too time consuming. It's actually tax day, and I do taxes, so y'all don't know I do taxes. So I'm trying to fit up some paperwork from some stuff right now, and I got somebody who needs to do a loan modification, so I'm working on that as well. But while I'm here working on this stuff, I said, let me go ahead and talk Invincible because I see people keep tagging me on Invincible. And I was like, hey, are you satisfied now? I'm like, yeah, yeah, I am. In fact, let me see if I can find the picture I want to show y'all. Hold on one sec. As I was watching Invincible, I thought about this scene right here because this is my boy Battle Beast. But too much thinking, more fighting, more. That's what I was thinking about watching this episode of Invincible. I didn't think we could get better than the whole conquest, and I read Invincible, y'all. I read Invincible from cover to cover, so I knew what was coming next, and I still was impressed by this, y'all. I really was. So y'all know how we do here, Marcus with reviews. I'm gonna tell you what I like about it. What I dislike, I don't think anything I disliked about it. Some people complain about the animation not being as good as the comic book art. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take it. Is it violent? Is it gory? Which I need to watch out about it. I'll tell you. So I'm gonna give you my spoiler warning. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're about to do. So we bring it back to this, y'all. Okay, I don't even know what I'm getting to discuss this, man. So we had that kind of slow episode last week with Mark and them. Mark was healing, and Oliver and Nolan were bonding and all that kind of stuff. They get back at that. It's like we're gonna take the war to Viltrum. They do get to Viltrum, and this is the crew you see in here. Yeah, this is everybody was in there. Tech Jacket. A lot of people are mad that Tech Jacket is now a woman. Zoe instead of Zach from the book, but I don't care about that. You know, I don't care. Then you got Alan, you got Invincible, you got Oliver. A lot of people hating on Oliver. A lot of people saying that Oliver needs to stay home from here on out. And I can see why. You got Thaddeus in the background. You got Nolan. And you got my boy Battle Beast. And I'm going to tell you, Battle Beast has a current comic book out. I think it's set before this series, though. And it just, I just never get tired of him in his quest for violence. And his just more and more and more. And then, they left out Space Racer. Space Racer was here too. Space Racer was MVP in this, y'all. He was clutch. So, one thing, I don't, since something I don't remember the comic, like, I enjoyed this. I can't get my thoughts together. I'm so excited, y'all. Okay, let me say this first. I got the scene I wanted. The scene I wanted was them going through the planet. Yes, y'all, they destroy this planet. They fly through the planet. I got that scene. I need to find it and post it, but I just ain't got time to do it because I got work to need to do. But yeah, that scene, especially compared to the comic, yeah, that's the scene I was waiting on. What I was pleasantly surprised by, one, we had a bunch of Viltrumites here, the whole Viltrumites in orbit kind of thing. And actually, you know what? This is my top episode because we got to see some background too. We got to see Thaddeus back in the day and how him and the Emperor kind of came to Oz. We got to see Thrag back in the day. We got to see the day Thrag became the regent. We got to see how effed up the Viltrum culture is. His first order. So it was a bunch of stuff going on. Yeah. So yeah, this is a great episode. The more and more I think about it, the more and more I got to talk about it. I got to get it out of my system. So if y'all recall, the Viltrumites basically put all the dead Viltrumites from the Scourge virus in orbit. So it's like a ring. Like planets have rings of rocks around them. This is a ring of bodies, which is messed up in and of itself. They go through the ring of bodies, this team, and they get met by the Viltrumites. And the Viltrumites is messing them up, y'all. I'll be honest with you. You got Lucan, we've seen him sometimes. You got Craig, we've seen a couple of times. We got Anissa, and we got just Strad just standing in the background, just holding his own, just looking. Like, I gave y'all my command. Y'all carry it out. And then they got this little virus, they shoot, remember they got the thing, they shoot with Viltrumite with it and they lose their powers. That came in clutch. Zoe was kind of handling those shots right there. They had 10 shots. I think she may have hit 3 of the 10. I don't know. Y'all had to come back and count it for me. And then of course there's the regular fight, stuff like that. Then Space Racer comes in clutch with his gun that can kill anything. But he also brings I guess they were called Ragnars. Bruh, when they brought these Ragnars in, Oh, it was on and popping from that point on. It was on and popping. Viltrum said, "Oh, we actually got to fight it now." Still, it was kind of even until somebody, I think Nolan, tried to go at Thrag. And Thrag was just sitting the whole time. He moved casually. But I'm going to tell y'all, when Thrag and Nolan got to fighting, this was probably and I've said this before on TikTok. That's why I'm recording this video. And where it goes. I said last year, when Conquest and Mark fought the first time last year, after the worst beating I've seen since Spopovich beat Vidal and Dragon Ball Z. If you watch Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm talking about. He stuffed a mud hole in that girl. I'd argue that the second Conquest fight was better. Because you just saw that rage, that dog in Mark. But the beating that Thrag put on Nolan is the new winner of all. This dude, everybody, you gonna see everybody talking about when he pulls his fist. First of all, he knocks this dude to the planets. Then he knocks him into orbit. I had to pause it like, did he just knock this dude into orbit? I ain't seen that since Warper Binary knocked Rogue into orbit in Uncanny X-Men. You know how hard you gotta hit somebody to knock them in orbit? But then we see the spin up of the fist. This dude is moving so fast. He is so strong. I don't know if he causing a gravimetric disruption, or he just the wind. It's like an air ball, airbender. He been in air as he getting ready to knock the smack at this dude. And then they do my favorite part when they destroy the planet. And he basically crashed out, had a meltdown, y'all. He had a meltdown. And he went crazy. I mean, like blood rage. I mean, first of all, he tossed Battle Beast to the side like, I ain't got time for you. Later on early, And when he got a hold of that, so this is the whole Invincible Season 4 kills in the most horrific way possible. It's Thaddeus, man. He pulled off dude's head. He decapitated him. I don't even want to say all that because he pulled off dude. Yeah, you just got to see it, man. And then squished his head like a grape. And then he proceeded to beat the hell out of Nolan. And, Mark was trying to help him. Oh, I forgot he already, pimp slapped Oliver so hard he pulled up Oliver's arm and knocked off his jaw. I forgot about that part. That's why everybody's like, Oliver needs to stay home. Bruh, we've seen a lot of fights in Invincible. This man did the one arm into Nolan. Nolan guts hanging out into space. He beat Mark. Mark is running for his life. Mark has taken a lot of beatdowns. Mark thought he was scared of Conquest. He thought he was scared. This is a whole level of fear. Y'all didn't go see the scene where Mark is running, and you can see the fear in his eyes, man. It is only by the grace of God that they lived through this. Because Dragon, he just came back to his sanity like, I don't want to kill no more Viltrumites today. That's the only reason they survived. Of course, plot purposes. Because Robert Kirkman was writing the comic, he wasn't ready to end it then. Although, if he had ended it then, that would have been the most talked about comic ending of all time. Y'all just need to watch Invincible Season 4, Episode 7. I think they got one episode left, y'all. We'll see how they end it, man. But I'm surprised they got this far in Season 4. I am, man. Woo, boy. I'll let y'all later. This is Marklin's animated series review. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share this video. Subscribe where you see this video at. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.